Hi, my name is Leighann Fields. I'm from Chester Springs, Pennsylvania. I marched with Ridley High School, BPEX Winter Guard, the Black Watch, Field of View, and the Crossmen Drum and Bugle Corps. And I am excited to go inside the shot with Chris Maher.
Hey everybody, Chris Maher here. I'm so excited to have Leighann Fields here with me to look at some of her career. I've known Leigh Ann for a long time, been friends with her father for a very long time, and I remember the first time that I saw Leigh Ann, probably late 90s, in the cafeteria at Norristown High School, where her dad was there to see a indoor guard show, and she was tagging along. So she's been in this activity for a very long time. She marched 3 years with my son at Crossmen, so I got to know her quite well then, and just seeing her now in her role at Penncrest as an instructor and just having watched her grow up has been great. And so we're going to go inside the shot and look at some of her photos. All right, so this shot, when I was going through and looking for photos of you, this one really jumped out at me because the joy on your face, and also having you there with Danielle Reedy, who I know you've known for a long time, and I've known for a long time. She also was part of the same crowd growing up with my son, going through Crossmen. And so I thought the two of you together was just a great memory. Yes, what do you, in terms of like marching with people, when you get a shot with somebody like that, how do you look at those kind of shots compared to like a solo shot?
Yeah, I mean, I remember actually when we were first signed as partners, and it was pretty cool because Danielle was actually at my christening. We've gone back that far, so it's pretty cool now that we're older and that our families are so intertwined to look back at that picture and see kind of how her and I have really grown up together as well.
All right, so we have a shot from Crossmen 2011. You marched, so many years with Crossmen. It was hard to find, just one shot that would really represent, your time there. But I thought this one really, I loved your facial expressions and your focus, and that's one of the things I've always enjoyed, with you on the floor, is just seeing the way how focused you are as you're doing your performing. So maybe you can talk a little bit about the Crossmen organization. Because you went through the transition, the Philly to Texas time period, as did my son. What was it like trying to be in the Crossmen through all of that time?
Honestly, between 2007 and 2008, after we moved from Pennsylvania to Texas, it was like joining an entirely new drum corps. Just because there was a group of us that traveled down there together, so we did have that in common, but for the most part, 75% of the corps was brand new and was young. They were young Texas high school kids. So it was interesting because we basically had to teach them right off the bat what drum corps was, how we function, what rehearsals look like. It was just a really interesting experience, and it was great over the years from 2007 to now to see how much of a great thing that was for the Crossmen organization. If that hadn't have happened, we wouldn't have been able to continue and thrive and build to where they are today. So I don't know, it was just a really awesome thing to experience looking back at it. And it's opened me up to people that I never in a million years would have met if the corps had stayed in Pennsylvania. Right.
Same for me. I went down a lot in 2007 with camps to try to maintain some consistency with parents, volunteering. And I remember the history night in 2007 and how just the minds were being blown all over the place in that room, who had just no idea what it was they really were becoming involved in. So
yeah, they had no idea.
It was quite an experience.
Yeah, they had no idea. It was definitely cool to teach them about all that history and for them to learn where it really came from.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was the year you marched a couple of shows with Bushwackers, I guess, with just prelims and finals, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
You were on staff, and I was just like shocked out of my mind that there was Leigh Ann on the field, which
everybody was
there all season long. So one of the great things about DCA is that there's no age limit, and so instructors can sometimes be pulled into the show when there's a need. So was that the only time you've ever kind of gone from staff to on the field within the same year?
Yeah, absolutely. That was my second year teaching Bushwackers. The first year was 2013. I had only been on for probably half the summer. But that in 2014, I had co-wrote most of the vocab, the book. So when we had someone sprain an ankle the week of championships, I was like, no problem. I already know all the work. So it was fun because I didn't really tell anybody that I was doing it. And I jumped in for literally just prelims and semifinals. I think between prelims and semifinals, I got into the closer because I just had to figure out the drill. But it was really fun. It was a challenge, and I had never performed in DCA before, so that was kind of something cool to check off the bucket list.
Right.
But no, that was the first time I've ever gone from staff to performer, and it was a whirlwind, to say the least. It was really fun, though. I really liked it.
Okay, well, that was quite a memory there. All right, and then our final shot. All right, so Field of View 2014. Remember that show with all the circles and the rifles inside the circle and all sorts of interesting things. I guess the thing I want to know about that show is there was so much that was going on. It felt like at the same time. How do you keep track of all of that when you're on the floor? You've got your little part that you're doing, and you've got all the rest of this activity that's going on. It's a very, very busy show. How do you keep focused in an environment like that?
I guess you basically just have to. You think about how a musician would feel as a member of a music ensemble. You know your part, you know your role in the show, and you kind of just have always understood, especially in this activity, how much of a team it is, that you do your part, everyone else does their part, and as long as that happens, that cohesiveness happens and it functions the way that it should. But it's always funny when something crazy goes wrong to kind of see how that kind of falls back into place and figures itself out. So yeah.
Okay. I had many favorite shots that came from that season from Field of View. It's a really exciting time.
Yeah, that specific picture I kind of have a funny story about.
Oh, tell us.
So that was at Abington High School. That was chapters. And I, for years and years and years, did not wear glasses when I performed and didn't wear contacts. I just didn't grow up wearing glasses, so I got used to not really seeing that well. And for whatever reason, that specific show, I chose to wear my contacts. And it was the scariest thing ever because I swore I looked at the audience and I saw like every person I've ever known in my entire life. And it was chapters, and it was the end of the season. I was having a good show. So I just remember that picture was our flag ensemble, and I got really emotional, and I knew that was going to be my last year probably marching for a while. So I look back at that specific show and that shot with a lot of good memories, just because it was so emotional to see all those people in the audience, to literally see all those people in the audience that loved and supported me, and it was just a cool memory.
Cool. Wow, I had no idea. That's great. So you're teaching now quite a bit. I know you're at Penncrest and running the program there, and that program is just doing wonderful things and thriving under your leadership. Are there other things that you're involved with besides Penncrest inside the activity these days?
Really, I'm just trying to focus everything on Penncrest right now. We started a middle school program 5 years ago now, which between the two can become quite a lot of work. And I just have tried to focus as much as possible between the two programs on building Penncrest and getting them further along, especially because I truly don't know how much longer I'll be there. Okay. So my goal has always been to leave them in the best hands as possible and set them up for success. So that's pretty much all I'm focused on right now, but I like it. I love kind of just putting everything into one thing.
All right. Well, it's been a real pleasure catching up with you in this context. Obviously, I see a fair amount over at Penncrest, but it's been wonderful watching you grow up all these years, and you continue to do great things.
Thank you so much. It's been awesome. It has been so crazy to look back over these pictures through all these years and see how much this activity has meant to me and really shaped me into the person I am. Chris, I appreciate you so much, and thank you for encapsulating these memories over the years, and I can't wait to go inside the shot with Chris Maher again.